Hi everyone, Mark Greenwood here, Elim's national evangelist, but you knew that anyway. I'm super excited to be chatting to you today about yet another exciting strategic partnership with an organisation that is going to help us in our national evangelism vision. And I'm really excited to be joined by my dear friend Oliver Raper. Nice to see you, Oliver.
It's good to see you as well. It's good to see you, actually see you.
Yes, you're a happy soul today, aren't you?
Well, it's in the water.
It's in the water, dishwater. I must drink some of it.
Yeah, that's good.
No, it's great to be. Tell us a little bit about CV for people that are watching this that might not know a great deal about it.
Well, I mean, Mark, the reality for us is that CV has been in existence for a few decades, actually, in evangelism, in different forms, radio, planting churches, working around the world. However, of the last 10, 12 years particularly, the digital space, the online space has become for us a major focus because that's where people are gathering these days. So to populate that space with evangelistic content that is meaningful, that calls for a response, is to us our primary objective.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because we've been thinking a lot about the online space in the last 2 years, but I wonder whether there's maybe a temptation as we continue to come out of lockdown, if not the pandemic. Is there a temptation to forget about the online space?
And that would be a big mistake because Steve Jobs once said, you know, the whole thing about digital occupancy is about understanding the why and not the how.
Okay.
I think that the last 2 years has argued profoundly in favor of the why.
Yeah.
Churches have actually migrated there by default. To go back from the why, or from the how back to, well, we don't know if it's valid anymore, I think would be a mistake because we might go back, but population won't.
Yeah, right.
And so we have to be where they are if we want to meet them. That doesn't mean that we stay there exclusively because actually this whole thing about hybridization and meeting people online but actually bring them offline and actually beginning to do this fusion is really important. But to lose it, to go away from that again, I think is to move away from where the population is actually migrating towards.
No, I think that's fair. And I'm really excited actually because I really feel that it's time now. Maybe it's been time now for a few months, if that sounds like a contradiction, but you know what I mean. I think it's time now for us to start to plan proper, proactive, strategic footsteps into the online world rather than it being just a kind of a reactive thing because we've been in a pandemic, we can't meet in our buildings. Actually, let's make some good plans, and I'm excited because CV can help us do that, can't it?
Yeah, and I think we've learned, even as CV, that this is not just a happen chance thing, just doing things because, well, let's do a piece of content and just try it, or give somebody their creative flair and do something. Really to plan campaigns that are intentional, that actually speak to situations in the world, issues that surround us. And really from a CV point of view with churches, particularly with Elim, is to say, how can we give Elim churches around the country their own voice in their own locale, speaking to people that they're trying to reach anyway, maybe prayer walking, maybe leafleting doors, if they still do that, doing whatever, you know, food kitchens or soup kitchens, whatever it is. But to say, we can give you the voice that you need in the online space as well, because that is what would happen. And then to give them that voice to which people can respond in the online space, and for that response to lead to an online migration to offline back in church, because we believe in the local church. That's the best expression of kingdom anywhere.
And I think that's what excites me about CV. There's lots of organizations out there that arguably may be about, you know, come to us and help us do what we do, but you're all about serving the local church, aren't you?
We don't want to raise our own voice. We don't. I mean, we want to share the gospel in any which way we can, but particularly in the UK, where there's a strong contingent of evangelical Pentecostal churches who actually have the resources in their own numbers of people with long established a walk with the Lord, to say, okay, but how can we give you a voice beyond the boundary of your church wall into the church, the people around you, so that the church can be heard even in people's homes.
Brilliant.
And if the church can be heard in homes, maybe the home can find its way back into the church.
Love that. So tell us practically then, what are some of the resources that CV has got that are just ready and waiting for Elim churches to engage with so that they can really begin to accelerate and make an impact in the online space?
Well, CV Resources, Mark, has a whole raft of tools, because that's what they are. And they go from training materials to how to make good videos, how to begin to do go through creative process, but also then some 3,000 videos that have already been created.
Really good.
They're purpose made, and they are, dare I say it, they're cinema type quality.
Yeah, they are.
They're superb. So they are, but they're short. They're bite-sized chunks, if we could use that old expression again, that actually gives the church an opportunity to start the conversation that these videos actually would provoke and so on. So CV Resources is about actually both equipping the making of content, the training of how to use content, the making available of content that is available, and then also as an organization to be there for the on-the-job learning experience that we've had ourselves, because we ourselves speak to people on occasions who respond to the thing. So we can see where the trends are going, what people are watching, what our data say. We're very data-driven. We don't just kind of, yes, we think that will work. Where does the data say to us that this thing is going? So we watch the online space. And as I said to you before, there is a lot of compelling evidence to say, don't ignore the data of where people are searching. Now, it's true, there's always going to be a reaction, pros and cons, and so on. But we need to stay ahead of the game and not being the lag. So CV's Resources is to keep the church equipped to do what it needs to do at all times.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff, isn't there? There's, I've forgotten the name of the app now, but it enables you to tell your story. So talk to us a little bit about some of those products, for want of a better phrase, that our churches can engage with as well.
Well, Yesi is an app that people can engage in to share through their own platforms the gospel in different settings and so on. And it's really for one-to-one sharing or one to your kind of circle of friends and so on.
So local churches can reach masses, but also through individuals.
Yes.
I like that, because one of the things that I've been talking to with a few people is about how can we raise digital missionaries in the digital space, and this would surely be a really good resource.
CV uses the phrase coined in Australia, says we want to live life on mission. So every platform is a mission field. If you remember when we spoke during COVID, actually, and we talked about Joel, we talked about the valley of decision. Every platform is its own multitude these days. So how can we use every multitude as an opportunity to influence the decisions in the valley towards Jesus? And that's what we're really all about. That's what we try to do. And to do that, we don't want to be the initiator and also the end point. We want to say, no, we want to equip the church to be the initiator, the middle part of the conversation, and then the opportunity to say, come see what Jesus can do for you as well. So we want to meet the people at the well, John 4. We want to actually tell them what Jesus Christ has done, and then for them to go and tell their friends to say, hey, we've seen what He can do for you, He can do the same for us. So that's what we're really about in the online space.
Love that. So if a church is watching this, well, they will be.
They better be doing it, because you've got to tell them to.
Exactly. When the churches are watching this, shall we say, and they're thinking, right, what can I start to do to begin? Because I think for a lot of churches, and you might well be thinking this listening, it's such a big space, a big world out there. So what can churches start to do? How can you help churches start with those baby steps?
Okay, first and foremost, most churches have their own online presence in some format already. So what content are you using there to articulate, to share the faith that you have in Jesus Christ? So if you're saying, well, how can we add value to that? We have a website called CV Resources. You can go and check out CV Resources for yourself and actually look through it. And everything that is there is free.
Just say that again.
Everything that is there is free. Now, I know...
You don't know how many Elim ministers are smiling at this point.
If Mark said it was free, you'd say it ain't free. But I'm telling you it's free. It's absolutely free. It's free at the point of use. All we're saying is it's not there for us to give it free for people to turn it into a monetized system to raise funds or to do some kind of personal web page that actually tries to lead them to raising funds and so on. It's free. One of our core objectives is to display a spirit of generosity in equipping the church.
Absolutely.
So if we can do that, it's free. Go to the website, check it out. You can also then look under the resources, even under the training. and some of the kind of how to do things. We're busy working right now on a masterclass in terms of how to run a campaign.
Great.
Okay. And then we're also looking at other organizations who do even more than we ourselves do, like the digital toolkit organizations, who actually say, how can you train us in an ongoing basis? How can we learn stuff? So CV wants to just be there to position ourselves as a support to, the word mentor is overused, but as an organization who understands the landscape a little bit better than maybe the local church does. Come alongside and say, well, this is our experience. This is how we would do it. Try this and so on. So if you've got an online space that you're populating already, you're doing something in Facebook, or you're doing something in YouTube, or you're running a service, you can use it. A lot of churches use CV resources just to augment their services as an illustration, or small groups and so on. It's great. Listen, never going to say no to any of that and so on. I would love to give the church more than a voice to itself, but a voice to the population it's trying to reach. So from my point of view, as an evangelist, I say, listen, that's great. It's great to just make your church service more attractive, and hopefully people come. The problem is not the people in the church. It's trying to get people out of their homes into the church, aware of what the gospel can do. So we can do both. As an evangelistic tool, we can do a lot more than we're doing currently in the online space. So we need to do it.
So we want to encourage Elim churches to become more intentional and creative in the online space. And whatever you're doing right now, fantastic. But how can we start to take tiny steps to make what you're doing now better, but also have a longer term goal of how we can really begin to make a massive impact in the online world. So Oliver, how would people go about connecting with CV to start some of those early stages of exploration?
Well, at the end of this little discussion, we're going to make sure that all the links to our various tools, sites and so on are there, so people don't have to write stuff down or scramble, try to sort it out. Go online, check it out. Let us know what you find. Let us know what you want to do. If you have questions, talk to us. We can't presume what people need to know. Because we don't know what people don't know.
No, absolutely.
So, talk to us. If they want to get in touch with myself, or some of the team here, and say, listen, can we do a webinar? Can we do a Zoom call? Can we talk about stuff? We can try to tailor our advice to the particular needs that people have. You and myself talk very often about, the fact that there's a certain literacy with the online space. And actually, we all assume that we know less than we do, or sometimes more than we do. So talk to us, let's try and find that, and we'll pitch it at that level. And we'll come alongside you. And then the next thing is try something.
That's
nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Absolutely.
Put it out there. Talk to us about how to respond to people. How do you turn noise into a conversation? It's a biggie. Because there's a lot of noise that comes back.
There is.
How do you actually process the thing of potential offense and actually display something of the grace that God has to try to reach people? So talk to us, talk to each other, get it together. But we can send you all the links, check it out. And then, of course, if you come back to us and say, listen, can we do something in an area, get a bunch of pastors together? I'll come down happily and say, listen, let's talk through, let's go through it and so on, step by step. But we need to start somewhere, and you know where you're at, so start where you're at and so on, and make it happen.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Oliver. So we want to encourage you to use some of these incredible resources. What I love about CV is they're producing resources that start to raise questions, what we in Elim call healthy maybes, getting people to be open-minded. So I want to encourage you to engage. As Oliver said, at the end of this little conversation that we're having, there'll be all the links. But just before we put the links on, we're going to show you a little montage, and then that montage will take you straight to the links so you can see some of the resources that are on offer. Thanks for watching.
Great.
Are you searching for compelling, relevant videos to play in church or at events? Is it hard to find timely, high-quality videos that inspire your congregation? Want to increase your digital influence but don't have the budget to shoot high-concept content? CV Resources is a library of free downloadable Christian videos available in multiple languages. To access this collection of stories, training videos, and resource material, simply sign up for an account. No strings attached. Elevate your ministry to the next level with CV Resources.